Hello and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines in time-lapse form. Welcome on back. How are we all doing today? Today is a very interesting one because we abandoned everything. No, of course we didn't. But what we did do is we did finally start to move on to the island where our new skyline will be. This will act as kind of like a financial district, but obviously with still supporting the residential and commercial demand, and of course those offices. I'm taking inspiration from Canary Wharf, downtown New York, and a little bit of Sydney's central business district. This is quite a short one, and to be fair, most of it is just placing buildings, so it might not be as entertaining as you guys have been hoping for, but it was only the start because about 20 minutes in, I realized that I accidentally turned something off, and I spent about an hour of my stream trying to find out how to deactivate what I did. It was essentially zoning only on one side of the road. We start off by clearing out these trees and getting a rough idea of what I want this to look like. Now, this end bit will actually act as a massive transport hub, mainly for ferries. But we will integrate some metro later on down the line. You can just see us trying to get the overall shape that we want. This will be expanded out a little bit extra in the coming future. You can see the two types of ferry stops we're using, the base game and the Canary, I think they're called the Canary Wharf set, even though they're not in Canary Wharf. I think they're actually a Australian asset. And here you can see me kind of getting a good flow for the area and how it's going to function, making sure that we have some pedestrian routes as well. I did eventually change out of this bridge to be a different set. Apparently I just didn't download any paths, but there we go. It's a learning curve, right? It's all a learning curve. We also delete some of these top areas because we needed to add in another entrance and exit to this area. So here I am just trying to figure out what this looks like. It was actually quite simple to do. This road already had some great infrastructure to it, so we just changed a few of these bits out, as you can see just here. And then we carry on this main one lane, one way. That's not the road. You know, we love this road. We really do. And creating some areas. I also put in these keys to try and make this slightly more tiered. Obviously, I need to go back and move it, as we see here, just to maximize the space in the downtown. And try and make not a grid as such, but like something that's slightly conforming, making sure there's a lot of straight roads just to give that Canary Wharf sort of vibe. Now here, as you can see, this is the process that I was hating, trying to figure out where all these buildings go, and this is quite a long time lapse. So let's talk about, as well, as you can see, we are trying to make these buildings as nice as possible, as uniform as possible. Again, I did change some of this after stream because I felt like the timeline, the skyline was quite abrupt, and I feel like the nice thing about skylines is that they clearly have a peak and it kind of works its way down in height from there. So you will see a lot of changes in how we do things, but you can just see like the variety of buildings, some base game, some Rico, some downloaded assets, and eventually things just had to change. Some of these buildings I just didn't like at all. Some of them needed their own districts, some of them needed their own kind of plaza areas. But you can see me here trying to figure out what sort of metro connection I wanted around here, because although we haven't that wasn't meant to be there. Although we haven't really got a direct connection to this island except via road, there will be a train station more south side of this island, probably the other end to where these ferries are, but it will provide some good connections to the rest of the city. So let's talk about the future of Camembert Coasts. So obviously this is a long-term project. This is probably going to see us up until CS2 releases, which is actually only in a couple of months. So I should probably really start getting my act together with the city, because there is so much to do, and I'm probably only maybe 50% through. So realistically, realistically, what we're talking about, 8 small streams. I feel like it's doable, but it is my birthday next week, so we'll probably be doing a little bit of a longer stream with a mixture of games, so hopefully we can get like a huge portion of that done as well. But yes, the future of the city. So what have we got planned coming up? And maybe I'll put in a small map so you can see what my future plans are, because I design all my maps ahead of time. Obviously things can change, but I like to get a rough idea so I can build off of it. So you can see like there is a huge amount still to do. We still haven't done a university. We still haven't really done much from the airport yet. We still haven't got all of our transport in, which is also something that we need to be blissfully aware of. So yeah, I do realize that there is a lot. I also realize a few of you in the comments, not just on YouTube but from Twitch as well, that we don't usually go back and acknowledge the AI anymore. I'm definitely doing that more on my own time, just so I can figure out how this thing wants me to build or what sections it wants me to build. But that is a very good point that was raised. So I probably will, maybe in the next episode, try and feature that a little bit more and see what happens. Because our mayor is still here. He's still trying to push for the Cheese Brothers, the Bruno Brothers, we call them, to try and create a nice area. Now here you can see us working on our amusement park, which is quite a size difference, running right alongside the central business district, but I thought it was a nice change. I thought it was a huge change in height, and I felt like you wouldn't really see this, but it just gives you a spectacle of how big this downtown actually is. And here you can see us just connecting up the metro. This does loop round right to the ferry ports and to the amusement park you just saw, but this will essentially venture more southbound. This is inverted. Will venture more southbound to the train station and any other connections. That clearly wasn't very good. There we go. And then finally, we just decorated this middle area. We wanted to make a lot of greenery. Rocket in chat was determined to make sure that this area had a lot of green spaces. So we absolutely overloaded this with trees. We took out a few of them using a weaker soft brush. And yeah, I think this area turned out quite nicely. Obviously still a lot to do. Here you can see the beforehand. This area changed so much, and I was so happy with it. So this is a free point, because we'll probably be using the same time-lapse mid-stop, I don't know what you call it, this camera shot for the rest of the build. You can see like this whole outer bit where the ferry stops are has completely changed, and I love the fact that this is looking nice. The only thing I'm not too sure about is that ring monument, but we will address it when and we need to. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Here you can see the giant difference between the two, but as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you smash that like, feel free to subscribe, and we do build the city every Saturday, 3 PM BST, live on Twitch, so see you there, and if not, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye now.